Let me recognize Senator Tuberville.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you both for being here today and what you've done for our homeland and our hemisphere. General, it's been 20 years since we've had an attack on our homeland. Thank you for that, and everybody at Northcom, hard work that you've done. You know, I very much agree with you what you said about outpacing our competitors. I'm proud to say that in Alabama we're working to leap ahead in the areas of hypersonics, working very hard on that. And right now, the world's largest and fastest hypersonic wind tunnel is under construction in Huntsville, and I know they're working at a fast pace. Admiral, I enjoyed a conversation last week in Georgia Straight Talk. Hope the American people will start getting a sense of urgency. You have your hands full in Southcom, no doubt about it. Between transnational criminal organizations, Russia and China, you're a busy man. I do believe for a moment that the PRC's plan in our hemisphere are benign, and I hope that it will not take a Chinese aircraft carrier sailing between Florida and the Bahamas for Americans to wake up to the fact that the CCP wish to dominate the world stage. I hope it doesn't take something like that. You know, the work that both of you have done for Southcom and Northcom does for our nation is incredible, important to maintaining our strategic military objectives. Many of the items for both of you in the areas of responsibility strongly impact my home state in Alabama. Admiral, following the 2018 National Defense Strategy is something I personally believe in a good way to position our forces to thinking towards the future. Can you explain how Southcom is important to this strategy, and specifically, how would you describe China's strategic objectives in a 5 or 10-year timeline?
Well, I think that China seeks economic dominance globally, and their strategic objective is to be the dominant global power, unquestionably, and they'll do that in whatever way possible to ensure they have the preeminence of the Communist Party. In this hemisphere, it's across all fronts. It's not just economics. Typically, we think about that, and we have this fallacy that's just economics. It's in the military realm. They've recognized that partners in this hemisphere can't afford a lot of equipment, so they've upped the game in gifts. And when they do offer military equipment, it's often through corrupt deals that we can't compete with. They've replicated our professional military education. They have ubiquitous IT solutions. They have created engineering and cyber scholarships for military personnel that goes beyond the kind of education and training that we offer in our IMET programs. They have expanded their defense attaché presence. They have at least turned a blind eye to a range of illegal activity, unregulated fishing, unreported fishing, illegal mining and logging. And all this is done in an environment fueled by corruption, with no regard or little regard for human rights, and trying to write their version of the rules of the game. We've got to stay on the field to compete. We do that well. No one is better than the United States military, Department of Defense, but we've got to work hard and tirelessly with the sense of urgency that you mentioned to stay number one in the game and to be the best.
Thank you. General, in regards to our southern border security, we hear all the negatives. What do you think's improved the most in the last 4 years? And then what worries you most looking forward at the southern border?
I think the coordination between the department and the interagency with regards to since 2018 has been probably the biggest improvement. With regards to what worries me most is about having domain awareness and the opportunities and vulnerabilities that I already talked about in our own Western Hemisphere for state actors such as China, Russia, or Iran in our own neighborhood due to instability, due to ungoverned areas and spaces. So I'm significantly concerned about what's going on right here in our own hemisphere and neighborhood.
You think we need a wall?
I'll stay out of the politics of a wall. Border security.
Not politics. You think we need one?
Well, border security is national security. We need to ensure that we have policies in place, laws are enforced to ensure that homeland defense does not become a more strategic issue from the borders.
Yeah. One thing I noticed coaching for 40 years and being in education is just the influx of drugs. You know, just take away everybody coming across the border, just the influx of drugs are killing our kids. We're losing 60,000 a year to overdose. I mean, that right there should be just an alarm that we've got to have something different.
Yeah, Senator, I agree with you. Actually, I believe the number this past year was approximately 80,000. That's unsatisfactory, and we have to get after that. And that's a symptom of that broader problem that I talked about, transnational criminal organizations that we can apply priority and resources to get after it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.